Every morning, millions of us wake up, reach for our phones, and dive straight into a flood of notifications, messages, and updates. It's almost second nature, an instinctive ritual, as if our smartphones hold the key to starting the day off right. But here's a startling revelation. A recent study found that this seemingly harmless habit, checking our phones first thing, can raise our anxiety levels by up to 30% before we've even gotten out of bed. This isn't just a gadget in our hands. It's a daily stress test we didn't sign up for. Today, we're taking a deep dive into how modern technology isn't just changing the way we communicate, it's fundamentally altering our mental health, reshaping our well-being, and why it's crucial to understand this impact. By navigating our digital lives with intention, we can reclaim our peace of mind, and maybe even our sanity in a world where constant connectivity is more of a curse than a convenience. Let's start by exploring how Stoicism can guide us in untangling our relationship with technology, wealth, and our own happiness. You don't need vast amounts of wealth to find happiness. This is an ancient idea, but one that holds deep relevance today. Stoicism, the philosophy that teaches the art of living well, reminds us that true happiness isn't found in our bank accounts or material possessions, but within ourselves. Figures like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius believe that happiness comes from self-acceptance, virtue, and focusing on what is within our control, rather than chasing external validation through wealth and status. Think about it. How many stories have you heard of lottery winners or the ultra-rich who still find themselves unfulfilled? It's because happiness derived from wealth is fleeting. Wealth can buy comfort, but comfort is not the same as happiness. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment through self-mastery, not through accumulating more. It's about appreciating what you have and realizing that constantly wanting more leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction. So how can we start detaching our happiness from our financial status? It begins with a shift in perspective. Each day, take moments to reflect on the blessings you already have. Cultivate gratitude. Practice mindfulness, staying present, and avoiding the constant urge for more. These small changes won't just reduce financial stress, they will enrich your life with a deeper sense of fulfillment, one that no amount of money can buy. Embracing this Stoic principle may not change your financial situation overnight, but it will shift how you feel about it, and that's a critical step toward a more contented life. This is a tough one, but it's critical if we are to live with more peace and less stress. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and one thing we always control is how we respond to the actions of others and the circumstances we find ourselves in. Blaming others is easy. It's a way to avoid responsibility, but it also robs us of the opportunity to change ourselves. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized that peace doesn't come from controlling your environment, but from mastering how you react to it. When you blame others, you give away your power, implying that your happiness and well-being depend on the actions of others. This is the opposite of what Stoicism teaches. Stoics strive for emotional self-sufficiency, cultivating a state of inner peace that doesn't rely on external factors, including others' actions. How can we put this into practice? Begin by noticing when you're tempted to blame others. Ask yourself, what part did I play in this situation? And how can I handle this better? In the future, this isn't about self-blame, but about taking responsibility for your role in any experience. By shifting from blame to accountability, you transform your relationships and mindset. You become more solution-focused and less reactive, leading to stronger, healthier connections with others. It's a gradual process, but every step you take toward personal accountability empowers you to reclaim your emotional resilience and well-being. We all want to be liked. We all want to fit in, be part of the group, and be accepted. But Stoicism teaches us that our first duty is to ourselves, not to seek validation from others. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius argued that true freedom comes from within, not from external approval. When you live to please others, you essentially give away your happiness. You suppress your true thoughts, desires, and values just to gain approval or avoid disapproval. Living to please others can lead to a life of turmoil, where you're constantly adjusting your actions to fit someone else's expectations. This is a recipe for dissatisfaction because you're no longer living a life that's authentically yours. Instead, you're living a life dictated by others. How do we break free from this cycle? It starts with a simple yet profound shift in perspective. Begin valuing your own approval over anyone else's. Get clear on your values, your principles, and your goals. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? And what kind of person do I want to be? When you start living according to your own standards and not others, you free yourself from the exhausting need to seek approval. By embracing Stoic wisdom, you take back control over your happiness and well-being and start living a life of authenticity and self-respect, one that aligns with your true values, not the expectations of others. In life, some questions demand only a single answer, while others require constant reflection, honesty, and personal growth. One key principle to embrace is the importance of setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches us the value of saying no when something doesn't align with our inner values. This isn't about being dismissive of others. Rather, it's about respecting yourself enough to prioritize your peace and well-being. It's not selfish to put your own needs first. It's essential for maintaining genuine happiness and integrity. By embracing this Stoic habit, you may face some resistance. Not everyone will understand your newfound independence, but that's okay. Stoicism doesn't promise a life free from conflict. It promises a life in which you're at peace with your choices because they reflect who you truly are. Letting go of the habit of living to please others is not about disregarding others' needs, but about ensuring that the decisions you make are yours to make, not imposed upon you. Another key shift is learning to face risks head-on, rather than avoiding them. Stoicism isn't about avoiding danger or change. It's about having the courage to confront them with wisdom. The Stoics believed that challenges were opportunities to practice virtues like courage, resilience, and integrity. Life's most rewarding experiences often come with uncertainty, whether it's switching careers, starting a business, or entering a new relationship. These risks, though potentially intimidating, allow us to learn, grow, and align more fully with our values. But embracing risk doesn't mean being reckless. Stoicism encourages calculated risk-taking, making decisions based on reason, not fear. Before making a choice, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Am I prepared to handle it? Risks offer the chance to deepen your character and expand your horizons. The focus, according to Stoicism, is on how you react and what you learn, not on the outcomes themselves. Moreover, another area to address in your life is your finances. Ignoring them is like neglecting a key aspect of your personal stability. Financial stress can cloud your mind and detract from your greater goals. Stoicism teaches that financial prudence is an essential part of a virtuous life because it creates order and balance. Taking control of your finances doesn't mean amassing wealth. It means using your resources wisely. Begin by reviewing where you stand financially and set realistic goals. Whether it's paying off debt, saving, or investing, be mindful of your spending habits. The Stoics valued simplicity, and living within your means is key. An additional Stoic practice you can incorporate is the idea of negative visualization, considering the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on them, but to prepare for them. For example, if you fear job loss, plan how you would handle it financially. This reduces anxiety and improves your ability to manage uncertainties. Lastly, don't neglect personal development. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius believed that growth is a lifelong pursuit. Every day offers a chance to refine your character, gain wisdom, and build resilience. For them, learning wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. In today's world, personal development is a cornerstone of a fulfilling life. Actively dedicate time to learning, whether it's through reading, taking courses, or deep reflection. Stay curious, always seeking ways to improve and adapt. Incorporating these principles into your life can be transformative, helping you live with more purpose, clarity, and resilience. Through setting boundaries, embracing risks, managing finances wisely, and prioritizing personal growth, you align more closely with your true self and create a life that reflects your values and aspirations. To truly grow from every situation and interaction in your life, one of the most powerful tools you can adopt is journaling. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius' meditations, which are essentially his personal journal, stand as a testament to the incredible value of self-reflection. By writing down your thoughts, experiences, lessons learned, and even your emotional responses, you gain clarity and a sense of progress. This practice helps cement the lessons life teaches us, preparing us for the challenges yet to come. In the Stoic tradition, challenges are seen as opportunities, not obstacles. Rather than avoiding difficult situations or tough tasks, Stoicism teaches us to embrace them as arenas where we can strengthen our virtues. This approach doesn't just accelerate personal development, it also builds resilience, one of the core traits that define a Stoic. Personal growth, in this view, is not a final destination, but a continuous journey. Stoicism encourages us to commit to a life of perpetual learning, to always strive toward becoming wiser, better, and more virtuous. This ongoing development aligns with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature, both our own nature and the greater world around us. By fostering personal growth, we prepare ourselves to lead more fulfilling, meaningful lives. Another key Stoic practice that can revolutionize your life is living within your means. Stoicism encourages a life of simplicity and moderation, where you prioritize needs over wants. It's not just about saving money, it's about cultivating a mindset that values long-term well-being over short-term gratification. Seneca, one of the great Stoic sages, often emphasized the dangers of extravagance and the virtues of self-restraint. He argued that true wealth comes not from accumulating possessions, but from cultivating self-sufficiency. In today's consumer-driven world, where we're constantly urged to spend, accumulate, and compare, this Stoic mindset is incredibly relevant. Many of us live beyond our financial means, sustaining lifestyles built on debt and fleeting pleasures. To begin living according to this Stoic principle, start by evaluating your spending habits. Are your purchases driven by genuine needs, or are you trying to fill emotional voids? Stoicism teaches us to detach pleasure from material possessions and instead find joy in self-improvement and the cultivation of virtues. Living in accordance with your core values and long-term goals might mean prioritizing things like education or health over a material upgrade. Regularly practicing gratitude and contentment for what you already have can also help shift your focus from consumption to value-driven living. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy comforts, but it's about making sure these comforts don't define your happiness or self-worth. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to anticipate the inevitable financial fluctuations and uncertainties in life without panic. By living within your means and saving wisely, you create a financial buffer that helps you navigate these ups and downs with peace of mind. The practice of living within your means isn't just about financial discipline. It's about aligning your financial behaviors with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This approach not only leads to financial stability but fosters a more peaceful, meaningful life, where your worth is defined by who you are, not by what you own. The Stoics also teach us to embrace change rather than resist it. In fact, they saw change not as something to fear, but as an opportunity to practice virtues like resilience, adaptability, and courage. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the impermanence of life, advising that our discomfort with change arises from false illusions of stability. He encouraged a flexible, adaptive approach to life, where we accept and engage with change, even when it's unwelcome, as a way to grow and test our virtues. To stop resisting change, we must first develop a mindset that expects and accepts it as an integral part of life. Change isn't something to fight against, it's something to learn from. This means not getting too attached to any particular phase of life, whether it's a job, a relationship, a financial situation, or even a personal identity. Life is fluid, and many factors are beyond our control. Instead of fighting change, Stoicism urges us to focus on what we can control: our actions, responses, and decisions. In daily life, this can start by reflecting on how you typically respond to change. Do you feel anxious or threatened? That's completely natural, but it's also a cue to practice Stoic reflection. What parts of the situation are within your control? Focus your energy on those aspects, rather than resisting or lamenting the change itself. Another practical step is to cultivate flexibility in your routines and expectations. The more rigid we are in our habits and beliefs, the harder it is to navigate change. By keeping our routines adaptable, we prepare ourselves to pivot when needed without significant distress. Embracing change also means staying proactive about your personal and professional development. In a world that's constantly evolving, lifelong learning is key to remaining resilient, relevant, and empowered. Stopping the resistance to change is deeply aligned with Stoic principles. It requires embracing life's natural ebb and flow, focusing on what we can control, and viewing every change as a chance to practice and strengthen our virtues. In doing so, we not only become more adaptable and resilient, but we also align ourselves with the true nature of the world, a world in constant motion, where peace comes not from stability, but from our ability to navigate the currents of change. As we embrace these practices and continue to grow, remember, personal development is a journey, not a destination. Keep striving, keep learning, and let Stoicism guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself.